Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show. Tonya.
Hello, everyone. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited that you're here today. I have the loveliest lady, Miss Robin Robbins. Don't you love that? Robin Roberts. Yay. How are you doing, Robin?
I'm doing terrific. How are you, Tonya?
Always fantastic.
Good.
So we're going to be talking about some really interesting things today. Robin is a hypnotist, so we'll get into that in just a minute. I want to remind you that we have got so many amazing people for you to get to know and meet. And especially if you're looking to put on an event, make sure you go to my website, publicspeakersassociation.com. Some of the most amazing people that you need to know. And you may be going, well, I don't put on events, or I'm not that special. Oh, please. If you're wanting to change your life, reach out to these amazing people because they truly can help you. They truly have a passion for what they do and expertise to make sure you get from 0 to the hundred and thousands fast, to make things happen in a positive way. So I'm excited to have Robin here today. So she has the, I love this, clarity guide. Boy, do we all need some clarity and a guide for
that. Yes, we do.
Exactly. So Robin, tell us a little bit about you and how you changed your world.
Oh gosh, well, I changed my world several times. The first big time in my adult life was when my family and I became alpaca ranchers. Yes, alpaca ranchers. Who does that? But we did. And I have to say that, sometimes we're stuck in who we are. And my son came to us when we made this big decision and said, Mom, there are families that go out and do, they do sports and stuff. And there are families that read. We're a family that reads. Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, and precious. He was just maybe 12, and it was something to stop and think about. But no, we broke that mold and we started an alpaca ranch. And wow, I changed my world. And it was quite an adventure. We did that for 8 years. And then, oh, wonderful, we all love 2008. 2008 happened, and that changed our world. And then it changed kind of my whole family ended up changing. And I became, just in 2010, a single parent with 2 kids. Life happens, and so my world changed again. So what I'm saying is, we all have our expectations and our boxes that we live in, and we're there, and then sometimes our world changes and we have to respond. Sometimes we get to reach out and change our world first. And what I like to do is help people reach out and change their world to their dreams.
Nice. Now, I adore alpacas. They've got the biggest, beautifulest eyes. Oh my gosh. If y'all don't know what an alpaca is, it's a small llama.
Exactly right. It's a small llama, and they're raised for their fiber.
Oh yeah, so they can use the wool type of, people make clothings and blankets out of it and everything.
Exactly. I learned a lot. I even learned how to spin fiber into yarn. So people, we change our world every day, and it's all a matter of choosing.
Oh my goodness, we'll have to talk about this. I've always adored alpacas. I even had an event where I had a children's area and I had a guy bring in his alpacas for the kids to look at.
They are lovely, lovely animals, and it was certainly an adventure and an experience, something I'd never done before.
I'm sure that stretched you in ways you didn't even know you could be stretched.
Absolutely.
I love that. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. You decide, I love this particular animal, and wouldn't it be great if I, had it as a pet, or you utilized it for its, the fibers, and made it into a trade item. There's so many things that people get really excited about, and usually we jump in without really having all the facts.
Yes, it was quite an experience. And when everything kind of started unraveling in 2008, then actually in 2007, I actually learned the art of hypnosis. That's how I became a hypnotist, so that I could kind of help shore up the finances, basically.
Wow, I didn't even know hypnotic states could help with finances.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you know what? I will ask people, have you ever been in hypnosis? And they'll say no. And the truth is, we are all in hypnosis every day. In fact, we spend more time in hypnosis than out of hypnosis, because all of our beliefs that we make our choices from based on what we believe, those beliefs they're there like in hypnosis. You believe them, you operate out of them. You don't stop and think, what do I believe about driving in traffic today? You just move through them. But for most people, they think hypnosis is something out there. But the truth is that if you're reading a good book, if you're watching a television show, if you're at the movies, you're in a form of hypnosis.
How interesting. I've never heard anybody say it that way.
Well, when's the last time you heard a jingle on the radio and, you've been driving, and then a few days later you realize you're humming it? You were in hypnosis. They got into your subconscious mind, and now, you can actually sing that whole commercial. Something you would need or use.
Right, like the Tonya Hofmann TV show commercial.
Yeah.
Well, that is so interesting, and I think, why do you think there's so much fear around the whole hypnosis community? Because I know even with my father, who was a chain smoker for years and years and years, finally the last ditch effort went to a group session, hypnotist session.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But he still denies that he was hypnotized. He's like, well, we talked and stuff, but they didn't hypnotize me. But he doesn't smoke since that moment.
There you go. And it's because people, Hollywood, I'm sorry to point the finger, Hollywood, but Hollywood has made people think that hypnosis is a very different state. But if I tell you that when you go to the movies, you're in hypnosis, you're like, what? I'm just at the movies. But listen, you know where you are. You're hearing everything that's said. You can get up and leave if you want. But you are so in hypnosis that you believe that action happening up on the screen is something really happening. You either cry or you laugh or you're nervous or whatever that genre is. You actually get into it. And we're going to say it's a good movie. And for you to believe that, you have to be in an altered state of consciousness, which is all that hypnosis is. But Hollywood has made it, okay, I'm going to now make you quack like a duck, or rob a bank for me. Oh, please, yeah. That doesn't happen. Unless you really wanted to rob a bank all your life. It's not how it works. So It is a very natural state. I kind of say it's nature's way of, when you get overwhelmed with stuff, you shut it all out, quiet yourself down, and like reboot.
Yes.
Like rebooting. And so as a hypnotist, while you're rebooting, I've talked to you, I've worked with you, we have worked, and this is where it's all about clarity. Hypnosis is just a tool. See, sometimes people get confused that it's the end of what you're trying to do, but it's a tool to get you where you want to go, to get you clear. You get clear. You come to me and say, I want X, Y, or Z, and then I'm going to ask you a whole lot of questions. Mm-hmm. And maybe questions that people close to you are afraid to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Or they ask you, you just can't hear it. You've got your resistance, but you don't have resistance with me because, we're not tied in that way. So I can help you get really clear. And then when you go into a state of hypnosis, I can offer you those same suggestions back, and you can choose to accept them and then create your life around those new suggestions, like stop smoking, because, oh my gosh, I know I'll feel better. I'll be healthier. I can see myself living a long time, playing with my grandchildren, da 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 da.
Fabulous. I didn't realize it was so dynamic. So tell us how you change the world now. What do you do for people? Can you give us some tips and ideas?
I open doors for people. It's important that I don't change their lives. That's not what I can do. I am your guide. I am here to stand beside you as you choose to do what you want to do, what you were maybe born to do. I am there to help you get there. So I have people come to me for many reasons, and some things like stop smoking, reduce your weight. Insomnia, out in the world, insomnia is a huge issue. People are not sleeping. And anxiety is at an all-time high. And I work with people to kind of clear away all this clutter and really get clear on what they choose and what they want, to question some of the beliefs that they have about what they can have. People, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I can't do that. My mom told me when I was little, I really wasn't that bright or something. We gotta blame our moms. But to change that, you go back and you go, wait a minute. I never questioned it because I accepted it when I was younger. Now I can question it. Now I can change it. And people move forward. They break those limits. And it really takes having someone in your corner, truly, completely, and totally in your corner with no strings attached.
Do you find, is there anything that people can do for themselves, kind of using techniques, so if they're like in a transition, they're like, yes, I need Robin, definitely. But is there something on like a daily basis that they should be doing?
Well, yes, absolutely. And this is going to sound really funny, people, but
oh, good. Yay.
Breathe. Do you know that we do not breathe very well? I mean, we're obviously breathing enough to stay alive. Well, that's great. But okay. So you breathe through your nose, in through your nose. You completely fill your lungs, hold it just for a couple seconds, and then out through your mouth. And that is so relaxing. I want you to tighten everything up, tighten it, and then try and breathe deep. You can't do it. So if you're going to take a deep breath, you have to let some of that stress go. And so the first thing I'm going to tell everybody, and the first thing I tell my clients, breathe. We need to stop and breathe 3 times. And if you get into the habit of once an hour, stop, breathe deeply 3 times, you are just like, imagine that your stress, your anxiety goes up and up and up throughout the day, up and up and up throughout the day until, by the end of the day, you're just like, now, okay, every hour I'm going to stop. So my anxiety is going up and up and up and up. I'm going to stop and breathe. Here we go. Then my anxiety is going to go up and up, but I'm just going to stop and breathe. So by the end of the day, you are not at that pitch of, you are in control. You feel good. You feel better. So that's number one, as crazy as it sounds, to breathe. Number 2 is to have quiet time. We are assaulted. Our bodies were designed to run from the saber-toothed tiger. And the chemicals that we process when we're fight and flight and all of that floods our body. And then, in the old days when the saber-toothed tiger was gone or whatever, we could just let it go. And there's a whole other set of chemicals that washes away all the effects of that. Well, guess what? We don't have the saber-toothed tigers out on the street now, but we got the cell phones, the computers, the cars, the traffic, the people. Somebody's always at you. There is no quiet space unless you choose to have it. And it can be a very hard choice to make. Everybody kind of wants a piece of you. But if you stop on a daily basis, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just stop and breathe deeply and rest. And you know what? If you are a person who prays, take that time to pray. If you're a person who meditates, that's fine. If just be quiet, you are going to find that your body gets a chance to wash away the effects of all that adrenaline and epinephrine. And oh my gosh, you're going to feel better so quickly. You'll be sold on spending the quiet time. And of course, hypnosis, 15 minutes in hypnosis is like an hour to 2 hours of sleep.
Wow.
So you really get recharged.
You know, and it's interesting. People always think it's weird, but when I'm driving, I shut everything down. There's no music, you know, nothing is going on. And it's like a jolt for me, just being quiet in a kind of a capsule, right? I'm driving around and I'm in a capsule, and there's nothing there except for just the, you know, watching what's going on, obviously, and everything. But it's almost probably in a hypnotic state because I get very calm. And then like my mind starts to go and I start thinking of new ideas and new marketing ideas, you know, and just, oh, I need to talk to that person. I've talked to that person in forever. And it's just amazing to me how things like that happen every single time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and it is the natural remedy for anxiety and stress. Absolutely. And sometimes, you know what, sometimes you just have to, set aside that time to make it happen. You know, sometimes you need that direction, that clarity guide to help you make that happen, and then build it into your life. And oh my gosh, it has such a tremendously positive effect.
Oh, I bet. Oh my goodness. So breathe and be quiet.
And be quiet. Yes.
Do you find that people, it's almost scary to them to take a moment like that because they feel maybe that they're being selfish with their time? You know, I'm taking time for myself.
Yes. Yeah, they've got people pulling them and pushing them in every direction, and they're, you know, concerned. But hey, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and you will be more there for your peeps, whoever they might be, than if you were there for them in those 10 minutes.
I love taking big bubble baths, you know, and closing the door. Unfortunately, the animals always want to be in there, so I always have an audience. But
okay.
you know, it's quiet, and again, it's just that very peaceful time and away from everybody and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's even maybe harder for guys to feel like they can take that, you know, because we always are telling women, empowering them to take a moment for themselves. And I'm telling you guys that are listening, you need to take a bubble bath sometimes yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, everybody needs that time to relax. And here's the other thing. Now, you have great ideas when you're driving, right? But then don't you begin to notice things that they were right under your nose and you didn't notice them last week, but all of a sudden now everywhere you look, you see that solution or that potential?
Yeah, it's like, boing, why haven't I seen this before?
Exactly. And you're just opening some new doors. And that's, you know, you have to do the work to get the new doors open. Otherwise, you get stuck in your own little place, in your own little time, and you start being unhappy and uncomfortable and anxious, and you can't really figure it out.
I know I've personally gone to hypnotists and to all kinds of people that have those abilities, and it opened up doors I didn't even know were closed. And I think that's kind of a good kind of scenario for people to know that there's sometimes something's holding you back and you're not quite sure why. And they can kind of open those doors to find out which one is holding whatever it is.
Exactly. Here's a quick little thing we can do right here.
Okay.
So look around, notice everything that's blue, close your eyes, tell me what's red.
Right.
Look, you weren't looking for red.
Exactly.
You weren't looking. You were only looking for blue. And that's what we do in our life. When we get caught in our belief system of how things should be, we look for blue, and we miss the red that's like right under our nose. And so sometimes you just have to stop and go, wow, what if I did look for red or purple or green or whatever? And you just have to have that reminder. And hypnosis is a tool to do that, and neurolinguistic programming techniques, tapping techniques, all of these things are things that I use to help people get clear on what they need to do to feel better and do better in their lives and be happy.
Yes, yes. And for I talk to for women and men and that have been victimized, traumatically in their life. And I even going to a big event in California soon about getting through that issues. And I really think that if you feel like you're a victim, you need to help someone like Robin, someone to help you get through and open those doors up. And believe me, it's not as painful as you think it is. It's very releasing. Do you find that?
The release is because you're holding it. It's there. And the whole world is filtered through that experience.
Yes, and I even found that because just kind of lay it out there, that my grandfather was a pedophile, and I had opened up that door and it was closed, and I'm just like, I pushed through that, but there was something that still felt not right, and I went to someone fabulous, and I opened up that door and realized that it was my grandmother. I remember that moment where she got into the car because the whole thing came out, and she was ready to drive away, and she wouldn't look at anybody, and we were what I thought was very close, and she shut me out of her life at that moment because she did not want to admit that her husband was that person.
Problem. Yeah.
And I had not released how I felt about my grandmother not supporting me.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and that is a tremendously impactful example of something that's happened in your past. And we all have something. It
Right.
might not be on that level, but you know what? It is whatever happened to me is on that level to me.
Right. And that's what people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. I'm like, I know, but anything that you feel that you're not moving forward and you wonder why, you have got to find someone who can help push and open that door so you can move further.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's called reframing.
Oh.
You learn. I have people call me and they can I forget this ever happened? It's not how it works, because you know what? It's part of your path. It's part of what you were born to experience. But what has come from that? What can we now reframe it and say, here's how it helped me form, how it helped me become the person I am, or how I can help someone else, or, so we take it and we use it, because everything, is filtered through our experience. And if we will just use a different filter, it will help us move forward. And that's my job, is giving you a clarity filter so that you can see how this is impacting you, and then choose. Do you want it to keep impacting you the way it has? Do you want to be where you are, or do you want to change? I'm, kind of suspecting that if you're coming to talk to me, you're wanting to change. Then we can make new choices. And you know what? Sometimes it's baby steps. You don't have to be like, oh, everything's okay now. Well, today, maybe it's just a little step, and tomorrow it's another step. And before you know it, you're down the road and you're on your journey, with that being an informer, but not the whole piece.
Yeah, and for me too, I didn't really combat any of these issues until I was 38 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And to me, it's almost been 10 years now. So I just can't understand why it took me so long. I'm like, I can't imagine what I would have done with my life if I had done it sooner.
Well, I'm going to say yes, but also you did it exactly when you needed to do it.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
we're so impatient with ourselves, and it just needed to happen now. And there's no you can't skirt around it and hope that it goes away. Whatever it is. I had a situation where I was very upset with someone with something that happened 12 years ago, and I knew I was upset about it. And it was just recently that it was finally like, I get it. And now I can move on because it was really giving me an attitude. And so now I'm like, I get this. And you know what? Because I was kind of angry at this person. I felt like I had lost everything and they got to keep it and they were the mean ones. But what I found out is, hey, I've got exactly what I want. I have a great life. I love being a clarity guide. I love helping people. What am I so angry about? Hey.
Yes.
And it just totally changed. But I had not, I didn't take the time. And it's a process. We're all still growing. And
Yeah.
who knows what those first 20 years before you figured that out would have been. But you know what? Everybody's exactly where they need to be.
And it brings up you get those moments that you're like, what am I thinking? Because I remember seeing a fabulous woman on stage, and she had a body that I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that body, and beautiful hair, and everything was just like gorgeous, and I got suddenly really jealous. And I'm like, why am I jealous? She probably works out like all the time. I'm not getting my butt off the couch to go work out. So why am I jealous of what she's actually accomplished,
Well, there you go. And we do that. We all do that. But it's that awareness. Now, wait a minute. I have what I'm creating and I'm happy with that. And if I'm not happy with that, then I can create, I can go work out all the time. I can go work out all the time and have that fabulous body.
Right? I was like, really, get over yourself, Tonya.
And, that's not your priority, and that's okay. Because
Exactly.
not everybody can clog the gym.
Exactly. Well, I am so excited. Now, you are giving away something amazing today. And as everyone knows, this is a moment that a lot of people are like, oh, okay, what is it? So what are you giving away to the audience?
Yes. I am giving away a personalized, in private strategy session with me. The value is $500. So you can go and on my contact page, send me in the comments, put strategy session, and I will pick a winner, yay, and then we will work together and get clear. I will help you. I will be your clarity guide, and we will get some creations in your life, some new things that you want, and yeah, cool.
What is your website for them to go find you?
Great. It's Robin, R-O-B-I-N, Roberts, R-O-B-E-R-T-S, and then C-H, certifiedhypnotist.com. So Robin with an I, Roberts with an S, CH.com.
Perfect. So go to Robin's website, go to her contact page, and make sure you type in their strategy session, and then you could be the big winner. And you're going to be doing and drawing these all the time, right? So if someone's listening to this 4 months from now, no problem.
No problem. We'll do one a month. That's what we'll do.
Perfect. So take advantage of that. Get to know Robin. I mean, it is not even costing you anything to find out something that you may not even be able to see yourself yet. That you maybe go, pinpoint, got it.
Technology is great because we will do this using technology. If we can't do it like face-to-face in person, we will do it technology. Mwah, love technology.
Right.
And you will be clear.
Awesome. Yay. So thank you, Robin, for being a part of the show today. It was really very insightful.
Good. I'm so glad.
Thank you. And everyone, please, as always, come and visit all the shows on my website. So Tonya Hofmann with 1F, 2Ns.com. And under TV show, you can see all the lineup, or my YouTube channel, whichever fits you the best. So I see you next time with another fabulous guest, and let's have more fun and go out. Don't tell me you're not ready. Say, yes, 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 I am going to make an impact on the world. I'm going to change my life, and I'm going to change other people's lives at the same time. So see you next time. Bye.